I'm very excited to be performing here at Lyndhurst Mansion for their holiday party. We're going to be performing in the parlor, which is a wonderfully balanced acoustic space. There's a sweet spot right in the middle where I can stand and it just resonates. You can hear it coming up through the floorboards into the portrait gallery, and you're going to be able to experience music in the mansion in a way that would have been very similar to what the families that used to live here 100 to 150 years ago would have experienced. So that's a very exciting prospect for me.
While as through a byway old and one day wandered I, at my feet a locket golden fell as from the sky. Rich and quaint, fitting shrine for such a saint as the masters loved to paint in the days gone by.
Lyndhurst is actually very interesting because it's just north of New York City, and it's built in the 1830s at a time when New York was becoming the leading financial capital of the world.
So tell me more about the third owners. After the Paulding and the Merritts, it then goes to Jay Gould and his family.
So Jay Gould starts from a farming community in the Catskills. He is not like the Astors.
So he wasn't born into wealth?
No, he was not born into wealth, and unlike the Vanderbilts and the Astors, who at that point already had a good period of businesses or real estate ownership that they were basing their wealth on, he made it himself. Mm-hmm. One of the interesting things about Jay Gould and Lyndhurst, and the reason that it's preserved, he was actually a very decent father and family man. His children truly loved him, and when he passed away, they preserved this house, not because it was so architecturally significant, but because they had fond memories of him and they loved him.
What if the snows are deep, and what if the hills are long and steep, and the days are short, and the nights are long, the nights are long.
Talk to me a little bit about music and the pianos that lived here at Lyndhurst.
Before you had electricity, you basically had to entertain yourself. So literally, if you were a young lady, whether you liked it or not, you probably played a musical instrument. You probably sang a little, because that's what you did. You read, you entertained, you put on little plays. You had to do it for yourself. You couldn't just spend endless hours on your iPhone finding out about things all around the world. By the second owners, the Merritts, we see the piano that was in the reception room, and we know they also had a second piano in the parlor, because again, you might only have music in that reception room, listening to that separately, but oftentimes after dinner, if you were in the parlor, you might have somebody play music, one of your guests, one of your family members, for people sitting around at that time as well. So they had that in two places.
This is part of a larger project that I'm calling Music of the Gilded Age in the Hudson Valley. And the idea behind this project was to research what music was like in some of these wonderful historic houses and buildings throughout the Hudson Valley. To do some research, look into how was music performed, who was it performed for, were there any famous guests that came to dinner and then played some music after that dinner. So do that research. into site specifics. And so part of my project is to put on a program in the setting you would have heard it and allow you to experience it. So imagine, instead of just going to a concert hall, you drive down a winding road through the trees and the manicured lawns and the formal gardens, and you see this beautiful building, down a ways. You go into the building and you see beautiful decorative arts and paintings, and then you get to hear exquisite music from the late 19th century, and that immersive experience is what I'm trying to achieve.